bit of a timer on you. And if I stop you, please don't feel offended. What are we testing this evening? So I've had several questions. How would I like to see it, and what do I want, and what do I think, and what's my preference, guys? And again, that's why I want to sort of reiterate my point that as postgrads, you can do what you want. I actually want to see what you guys can come up with. How do you? I'm throwing a topic onto the table, and I'm saying, run with it. I want to see how you deal with it. There's several things that I'm looking at. How are you interacting with this subject matter? How are you researching it? What's the quality of research? What's the quality of sources? What's the arguments that you can formulate and put forward with this type of thing? We're looking at your slides. We're looking at your communication skills. We're looking at can you present? Can you talk to people? It's important. It's a very important skill to master. So there's no rights or wrongs. There's no specifics from my side. I gave you the topics. I think I gave you about 4 or 5 topics in the broader theme of AI and management, which is absolutely the thing we hear so much nowadays. So that's the story. You're going to share your screen. You're going to present and try and keep it. If you can land in 5 minutes, that's even better. And share with us some of your thoughts regarding this. You will see that after you've listened to this evening's presentations, how well informed you are, the work you've done, the work others have done, the research and the input and the contribution of a class, how that just sort of educates all of us on this matter. So that's quite interesting. Now, I'm looking for a volunteer to take the first slot to start and share. Anyone? Right, there's 20 of us now. I'm going to let Janelle. Janelle,
yeah,
awesome.
Sorry.
Yaku, and maybe you go after Janelle. Yaku can go. Sometimes students will say in the chat here, I want to go after Yaku, and I will go after that next person. So you guys can do it. I will sort of try and keep an eye on this here as well. I'm going to cut my video, and I'm going to cut my audio. Chelsea's going third. So you share. I'm going to tell you what we can see. Remember, guys, we want you to go to full screen slideshow mode. Remember to turn your mic on, and then you go. Thank you very much. So let's enjoy this evening. Sit back, get something to drink, and there we go. All right, the list is growing. Okay, Janelle, you are first.
Can you hear me perfectly on your side?
I can hear you very well, and your presentation is showing up with a robot man sitting on the left.
Fantastic. All right. Okay, here I go. I hope
There
I
you go.
make my time limit. All right. Imagine your next team member never sleeps, learns continuously, and can make decisions. That's not the future of work. It's the beginning of agentic AI in organizations today. So, good evening, Piers and Dr. Van der Berg. My name is Janelle Smuts. Previously mentioned, I work for a private hospital group. I might as well mention it now. I work for Mediclinic because I'm going to be making many references back to my workplace. I am in the marketing department. We call it the more tech environment, which is a fancy word for marketing technology. I'm managing apps, managing CRM. So this is very much in my field. Tonight, I'll be discussing AI agents and how they are reshaping management from a from a marketing perspective, rather than a technical one. So when you ask questions, I don't know code, I don't know APIs. So from a marketing perspective only, I'll briefly explain what AI agents are, why they matter now, and how they are changing organizational structures, and what the risks and benefits are, and what this means for leaders/managers. The key idea I'm wanting to explore is AI is no longer just a tool, it is becoming part of the workforce. So we're going to look at what is AI, what is an AI agent, what is a LLM, a long language model, and what is agentic AI. So an AI agent is a system that can act toward a goal on your behalf or alongside you. Unlike traditional AI that generates content, an agent can take an action, schedule meetings, complete tasks, make decisions, and execute multi-step processes. Think a claim situation and having to get that claim paid back to you. So to give you more context, technically agents sit on top of a large language model. If the language model is the brain, the agent is the actor. It gathers information, interprets the context, and decides what to do next. That is agentic AI, autonomous AI. So if you take ChatGPT for as an example, ChatGPT has a long language model. That is the brain. When you type something in and it says analyzing, thinking, that is the agent. He's the actor. And then whatever steps you wanted to do afterwards, that's the agentic AI. So the important principle is simple. The more context and authority that agent has, the more useful it becomes to the business. The shift from generating answers to taking actions is what makes agentic AI strategically significant. So this is what people often think an AI agent looks like. It's data, large language model, and value, but it's not. It's got perception. It gathers the data. It's had a cognition. It interprets. It's got the decision making. It analyzes, takes action, and learns from it. But the environment, which is the bottom part, that is the foundation of its knowledge base. The more you expose it to a large environment, the better your knowledge base. So why this matters now? So we are seeing a rapid investment and adoption in agentic AI across industries. Organizations are racing to become AI first because they fear falling competitively behind. We are also moving from single AI tools to multi-agent systems where an AI agent is actually managing another AI agent to achieve outcomes. This represents a shift from the software as a tool to AI being a digital workforce. So the real management question is no longer whether AI will be used, it is how organizations will structure work around it. This is how I think my Chief of Information Technology receives my brief if I ask for an AI agent, and you'll soon see how he actually looks like. Research shows something very interesting. Employees are more ready for AI adoption than managers believe. Many workers already use AI tools and are open to integration into their work. Millennials who occupy many management roles are among the most active adopters. However, leaders face a dilemma between speed and safety. Their biggest concerns is cybersecurity, accuracy, and privacy. Another key insight is that employees trust their organization to deploy AI responsibly. So adoption is not being blocked by resistance. It is being slowed by leadership uncertainty. The central takeaway from this research is AI transformation is not a technology challenge. It is a leadership and organization design challenge. And I won't go into depth, but McKinsey and Company did a report. In the reference list, there's a link towards the report. You can go look up the methodology that they followed. But the report found that employees are ready for the change, more ready than their leaders imagine. Companies need to move fast. Employees trust their leaders to balance speed and safety. Companies are investing in generative AI, but they have not yet achieved maturity. Of the respondents that they interviewed, only 1% had an AI tool that reached maturity stage. Leaders need to recognize their responsibility in driving generative AI transformation. So how AI agents change management. This is how my Chief of information technology actually looks when we approach him with a brief. AI agents are not just improving productivity, they are changing how work is structured. Work shifts from managing tasks to managing outcomes. Teams increasingly include both humans and AI systems. Decision-making cycles become faster and more data-driven. This means managers move from supervising people to orchestrating the intelligence. Their role becomes coordination, oversight, and strategic direction. In practical terms, AI becomes part of the organizational structure. A traditional hierarchy begins to flatten because the work can now be executed autonomously. So the organizational chart is evolving from human-only roles to hybrid human AI systems. Let's look at the benefits versus the risks. It's often a conversation. So the benefits are clear. Greater speed, scalability, decision support, and potential revenue growth. But autonomous systems introduce new risks, obviously. They include governance challenges, explainability. How did that AI bot or AI agent get to the decision and the action? Privacy concerns, and accountability for decisions. Because agents can act independently, error tolerance must be much lower. This is why human oversight and governance frameworks remain essential. AI agents do not remove the need for management. They increase the importance for responsible management. I love this quote from Bill Gates. Of course, he's a bit of a figure in the industry. Soon after the first automobiles were on the road, there was the first car crash. But we didn't ban cars. We adopted speeding limits, safety standards, licensing requirements, drunk driving laws, and other rules of the road. So we look at the strategic implications for leaders slash managers. I love this picture as well. It says, "Hi, Alexa, are we making a mistake developing AI?" And Alexa says, "What do you mean we?" Which is so true. Um, to capture value from AI agents, leaders must rethink how organizations operate. They need to define where AI creates strategic value, invest in skills and infrastructure, and implement governance frameworks. Perhaps most importantly, leaders must think workforce planning. We do not fully know what the future skills requirements will be. We don't even know what to pay this person or what to call this person in most organizations. The organizations that gain advantage will not simply adopt AI, they will adapt their management models to it. Competitive advantage will come from organizational transformation, not technology on its own. So I've included real life examples here, but I'm so scared I don't have enough time. It's about a 1 minute video. Do I have enough time left?
You sort of out of time, but let's do it quickly.
Okay. I knew it was going to happen. There we go.
Sorry, I don't know if anybody else can hear, but I can't hear sound.
Yeah, I
so-
can't hear.
as well.
No sound, man.
No sound.
When you share, you have to say share with sound.
Oh, gosh.
But there
Okay.
is a, I mean, there is a caption, so we can sort of follow.
Okay. It's time. Fantastic. All right, we move on and love a Oprah meme. You get an AI agent and everyone gets an AI agent. In conclusion, AI is reshaping how work gets done in much the same way the internet once did. The internet was created 40 years ago. I can only imagine that the industry, I wasn't born 40 years ago, but I can only imagine that the industry was standing almost at the same intersection that we are right now. The workforce is ready. Technology is advancing rapidly, and the key barrier is organizational adaptation. The greatest strategic risk for leaders slash managers is not adopting AI agents. It is thinking too small about their impact. Management is entering the agentic era, and the time is now. That is me.
Thanks, Janelle. Some very interesting points raised. What did you use to make your slides? Did you use Canva?
No, old school PowerPoint.
Okay.
I've recently seen it. You can still see my slides, but this designer gives you options of how you can shape your. This is something new. I was always on the old Microsoft system, but this
Sure.
designer gives you ways of redesigning the slide. It's obviously not working now, but
Yeah.
I just looked at a few templates and. But this picture, so I've put my ChatGPT prompts in, create a visualization
Oh,
of how I
yeah.
treat you. And I have seen some people get shocking results. Some are very angry and they hit the chatbot. I
Yeah.
want more, faster, you're too stupid. So
Yeah.
my personal belief is that these guys are going to become much more clever one day and they're going to become autonomous. So watch what you
Listen,
say.
what I can see is that you like most of you probably do is you handle life with large quantities of coffee. Thanks a lot, Janelle.
Fantastic.
Jaco, thanks a lot.
Sure, let me share my screen.
Yes, your presentation is up, Jaco.
Is it up then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just I've obviously I've kept my slides quite blank because I've learned from many people, don't put too many templates in, and are we allowed to use the Emirates logo, etc. So please pardon me for just a white background, and there's also so much text I've got in here. So I took the topic of AI management or AI in management, and through my research really got to a little bit of a discussion around the acceptance of AI in business management. And my focus then is on how that acceptance of AI management in business then complements managerial governance, especially accountability, because I think that's the one thing that is always questionable, to say the result that we get from AI, how true is it? The disclaimer that I just want to put in here now. Sorry, why can't I move to the next slide? Excuse me. So the disclaimer I want to put in here is just to say that obviously artificial intelligence is quite a broad spectrum. It's like when we say IT is consisting of so many different disciplines. So I'm focusing my discussion on machine learning algorithms, especially in data-driven companies. And if we look at the definition of machine learning algorithms, it really talks to any intelligent entity that's capable of understanding different circumstances, scenarios, etc., and then process a result based on that input. So I want to argue for the use of AI in business, because it definitely does have a place. So what I saw is that the cognitive load theory, and I'm not going to explain the theory in detail, but the cognitive load theory really talks about the fact that people learn from the work that they're doing. So if you get given a task, you actually learn from that process and you store it in your long-term memory. The cognitive load theory consists of three different kind of sections, and one is intrinsic cognitive load, and then extraneous cognitive load, and germane cognitive load. And I'll just mention briefly how that fits into this discussion. So the cognitive load theory is just really how the brain is structured in order to take instructions and then to bring out results. And that to me is therefore the argument of bringing in AI, because it assists the humans, the individuals, the employees in the processing of the information, getting to a result. So I think especially in data-driven companies, like I said, there's overly complex information, and individuals feel overwhelmed by the task at hand. Therefore, if that information is complex, poorly structured, or requires high mental effort, AI then plays that role to say, but the load can consume limited working memory resources and reduce the capacity available for transferring the relevant information into a learning ability, into meaningful results. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm arguing, yes, there is a space for AI in the business, but now the problem is, how does it get accepted by management, and how does it complement corporate governance? So from an employee perspective, we need to understand that workers will also need to accept AI. And I'm not going to talk about specifically, because that's a topic on its own, to say, but how does workers accept AI? But it comes back to valuable results that they actually then achieve at the end. So there must be a willingness, though, to adopt and feel comfortable with working with these engines in order to deliver the results that they're actually looking for, and that those results are actually presentable and meaningful to management. When workers accept the use of AI, that creates a level or feeling of accountability and trust. And that accountability is then obviously where the corporate governance comes in to say, but the result that I found or that was produced by AI is trustable. I can trust it. There's actually meaning behind it. So the fact that workers accept the use of AI defines management relations, because they'll talk to their manager and say, but I used AI, this is the results I got, this is the process I followed, and that there's meaningful results, trustworthy results that comes out of it. When there's a good relations with management, that leads to workers' well-being and a positive work environment, because they feel valuable, they're able to actually create results that's trusted. And that then leads to ethical and accountable corporate governance, because now the worker, the employee, actually trusts the system as well. The last slide that I want to talk about is working towards acceptance from a managerial perspective, from management perspective. And I took a model from Kahn, and I just twisted it a little bit in my own words, not really my own words, but own structure. But what Kahn was saying is that top management support is important. Without top management support, there will not be acceptance of the use of AI in a company. So there's a belief about AI that will only come from individuals' perceptions of the usefulness of it. But that needs to be proven to management, obviously, as well. And once that acceptance is there, then there's an intention to use AI and the continuous use of AI. But all of that takes mature management. And you see, I've made it interchangeable there to say mature management creates a mature organization, and mature organization creates mature management. So when it comes to top management support, it takes maturity in a company in order to believe AI and to intend using AI. And that then again results in accountability in corporate governance. With other words, the fact that management then relies and trusts the information, the result that actually came out of AI through the process of learning and processing. And that's me. So I've consulted 3 specific references that gave me a couple of ideas, and I've tried to put it in as few slides as possible.
Thank you very much, Jaco. Again, fantastic, excellent points raised. Thank you for that. We're moving on. Chelsea, you can get ready. Oh, guys, very insightful. I like you guys supporting each other. I love that. All right. Chelsea, I will tell you when your
Okay,
presentation comes up.
awesome. Awesome. Thanks. So I just need to actually share my screen before I do anything else.
As I think I hope it works. I'm gonna flag you at I'm gonna show you 2 minutes. I hope it works. I try to write it in mirror mirror text. All right, yes, you are on.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thanks, sir.
Right, you can fly.
All right. So obviously we all know we are using our AI in management. So I thought it was actually quite nice of Janelle to have added a little bit of her what ChatGPT thinks of her. So I added mine in quickly as well. We actually did it as colleagues. So apparently this is what ChatGPT paints me out to be. So I'm a consultant in HR and performance management. I work in municipalities. Yeah, so we obviously have to look smart, constantly have our computers and our phones in our hand. And yes, sir, the coffee is there for sure. Otherwise, I think we'd all be struggling very much. Okay, so firstly, let's address what is AI. So, by John McCarthy, used the term artificial intelligence to refer to systems that mimic certain features of human intellect. AI is the science and engineering of building intelligent computers. Artificial intelligence refers to intelligent beings that sense their surroundings and act to accomplish predetermined objectives. So these systems use the data and human specified goals to produce forecasts, suggestions, or judgments. So how do managers actually use this? As described by John McCarthy, they will mimic the human intelligence to make faster, more accurate decisions, analyzing data, detecting patterns, supporting tasks like budgeting, forecasting, hiring. A lot of businesses nowadays actually use AI to reduce the interview process as well, just to save time. Um, so yeah, AI uses data and human-defined objectives to make predictions or recommendations. Managers ultimately set the goals. However, the AI just assists in actually implementing it and ensuring that there is transparent decisions as the manager is setting the goal, not the AI. So overall, AI serves as a decision supporting tool, forecasting performance, monitoring, planning tools, and helping managers achieve their objectives efficiently. So how do managers actually use AI? Oh, sorry, I actually skipped over that one. There we go. So I think, a lot of people nowadays always want to explain how does AI improve performance and all those kinds of things. So I thought, let me take a little bit of a different route. Obviously, I'm also in performance. So I thought, fine, let me try go for something else. So the 3 main sections I've chosen was superior risk intelligence and predictive accuracy, enhancing operational efficiency and financial control, and then strategic decisions and scenario modeling. So for the first one, superior risk intelligence and predictive accuracy, AI has the ability to improve aspects of business such as the quality, the depth, the speed, and just all those kinds of things that sometimes we miss. Some institutions use these AI models to evaluate credit risk, liquidity exposures, fraud detection, and any economic problems. How is this actually going to complement or assist the business? Early warning systems. AI detects patterns of financial distress before they become visible in traditional reports, assisting the manager in ultimately predicting a consumer who, for example, won't be able to repay their credit or is going to struggle in the future. Real-time stress testing, managers can simulate downturns, inflation shocks, or interest rate changes instantly, thus helping them mitigate any financial strains and them actually doing it quickly other than sitting and worrying about how they are going to address it. Reduce human bias. Decisions rely more on empirical patterns, so observations and experience, rather than subjective intuition, ultimately leading to any safer and, I guess, less emotional decisions. We are still humans. We're obviously talking about AI, but we are humans. So at the best of times, we do think a bit emotionally, and sometimes we just need to rather look at what is actually happening and what have we experienced. So I think firstly, we just need to understand that the manager's not going to be replaced by the AI, but the AI is going to help managers make more informed financial decisions. Then we have our enhanced operational efficiency and financial control. So the AI increases the precision and efficiency of financial operations across budgeting, auditing, trading, many different scopes. Some firms actually use the AI systems to support trading strategies. Others, like retailers, will rather use it to optimize processes and reduce supply chain costs. So now, how is this going to once again complement the manager? Faster tracking and transaction management. Continuous AI transaction monitoring reduces the time spent, fraud, and financial leakages, essentially helping the manager have less lost resources or any decreases in cash flow. Dynamic forecasting. AI can create better and more adaptive budgets and financial statements, assisting managers in reducing human errors. Oh, 2 minutes, that went by super quick. So yeah, managers can then use their time, and Janelle even addressed that as well, where she said, in the video it showed it reduced about 150 hours more productively on the strategic decisions rather than using it on checking financial statements, fixing errors, all those things which us as humans would miss. So I had a third point, but I'm going to skip it because I'm clearly going to run out of time. And just say overall, to sum it all up, AI is a very powerful tool if we can use it properly. It enhances managerial decision making by helping us analyze, predict certain patterns, and supporting strategic planning without replacing any specific human judgment. So, thus acting as a co-pilot, strengthening financial governance, improving efficiency, and helping the managers to make more smarter and informed decisions. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. Very, very nice. What did you use to compile your presentation, Chelsea?
So you can't always ask, like people, I'm gonna give all my my tips away. No,
Great
I'm joking.
secret.
So that's okay. I use Canva. It
Use
helps a
Canva.
lot.
It's
Yes.
amazing, eh?
No,
Canva's
it's awesome. So it took a
very
while
powerful.
to get used to how to actually get around it, but now it's like
Sure.
second nature. So yeah. Thanks, sir.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chelsea. All right. Sarah, do I
Hi,
pronounce it
Dog.
correct? It's Sarah.
Sarah, yes.
Sarah. Right.
Cool. So I'm just gonna share my screen. I won't be able to see the chat or anything. So if you need, ooh, this is the wrong tab. Hold on, giving away
Yep,
my company secrets there.
we've got you visual and your audio is very good, so you can go.
Awesome. Cool. So mine is very similar to the presentation before me, but I'm looking at algorithm-led management, who actually or really makes the decisions. Now, hold on, is this, oh, this is going the wrong way. Hold on, here we go. Okay, introduction. So companies of today are increasingly relying on algorithms, not just their managers, in order to guide critical decisions. And automated systems they now influence more the hiring, the promotions, the performance evaluations, as well as the day-to-day operations like drafting your emails and sending them through, etc. So in major organizations like Uber and Amazon, this is something that has become the norm. So as algorithms take on more of these leadership functions, there's a key question that comes about that says, how does the role of the traditional manager now evolve when AI or when machinery is now being told what is the difference? How do we manage this? Now, what is algorithm-led management? So similar to how I mentioned in the introduction, it looks at your performance evaluations, your scheduling optimization, informing rewards or disciplinary actions, as well as your task allocations. So basically it uses AI in order to handle your core managerial tasks. And this basically brings about how decision making becomes more data driven and there's reduced human discretion that is involved. Now, many managerial outputs are automated rather than manually executed as they are now. I would say now that we are in a bit more of a transitional space where we are making use of AI to a certain extent, but there is also a lot of traditionalism that is still within different industries. Now, research shows that these systems are becoming more central to the operational and workforce decisions, and authority in itself is increasingly shifting from human managers to this optimization. Now, why do organizations adopt this type of AI? It's usually for enhanced operational efficiency, scalable decision-making processes, as well as cost reduction potential. There's also consistency when it comes to the outcomes of decision-making as well. Then looking at the risk in governance, you have your bias risk when it comes to your algorithms. There's also transparency issues as well as accountability challenges, because when it comes to accountability, then there's this question of if you used AI to prompt a certain decision and you ran with that decision, who now becomes responsible or who is to blame if that was to go awry, if that decision that you had now made was to bring about failure into the business. So that comes about when we talk about the accountability challenges. Now, is this as a whole descaling your managers? So going back, the traditional role of managers is that they play this vital role in interpreting the performance metrics of their employees. They give contextual judgment because they know what's been happening in the business for years or for that period of time. And they also mediate conflicts within the teams. Now, their ability in order to assess these situations and make nuanced decisions is extremely essential for fostering a productive work environment as well as maintaining the team morale as a whole. But the impact of AI on management is that it brings about this automated performance scoring that has transformed managerial roles as a whole. So managers find themselves evolving from being decision makers to merely just output enforcers and relooking at everything from an output perspective, not necessarily from the beginning to the end. So this looks at relying heavily on your assessments on an algorithmic level, and the shifts the risks, which diminishes the critical thinking abilities and also reduces the managerial discretion, which leads to over-reliance on AI outputs. Now, the future of human or AI management, this is separated into different years, but obviously now looking at the different, how do I say, the different speeds at which AI is moving and how rapid it's moving at the moment, we can actually condense this entire portion into 1 year. So I'm going to go with the years that I have on the presentation, but 2026, if we were to look at it for AI just being specifically for that year, we'd look at the integration of AI co-pilots. So companies like your Microsofts implement AI co-pilots in order to enhance the managerial decision-making as well as the efficiency. Whereas 2027, again, taking it in a year perspective, there would be a shift in the managerial role. So future managers transition from traditional roles to managing AI systems alongside their teams. So there's still that more traditional aspect when it comes to you using it as a tool, not just to automate your entire processes. 2028, there's an emphasis on AI governance, where your organizations will prioritize this governance and policies, as well as your ethical oversights in AI developments in order to ensure that there's accountability and transparency. 2029 looks at the development of AI literacy, where your managers are expected to possess some form of AI literacy, which is enabling them to audit these decisions and question the AI outputs. Now, the difference with this is that this is all being implemented right now. So you'd see there's a lot of your AI masterclasses, a lot of these workshops that have been going around because it has become such a prominent thing in various industries at the moment. 2030, you're looking at your human in loop architect. So the future manager now becomes a key decision architect, balancing your human judgment, but also your AI capabilities. Now, my perspective in this entire thing is that your AI algorithm-led management brings about efficiency, but it also brings about these governance risks that we spoke about earlier. So the key concern is that your managers will lose their accountability and also their moral responsibility. Like alluded to in previous presentations, AI should not replace the human judgment, but it should be there as a supporting tool in every decision that is made. So your over-reliance on your algorithms and your AI can actually weaken the morale of your managers and their authority as well, and can also promote avoidance. So strong governance frameworks are essential when ensuring that there's responsible use of AI, but also there should be necessary safeguards that include transparency, human oversight, as well as ethical escalation channels and clear accountability structures. So those are the main points in the presentation. I know I kind of flew through it quite quickly because I didn't want to go over time. But yeah, that's my presentation.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, there's really a lot there. Hey, you could easily go on for an hour with the content there. Very, very interesting. Again, some thought-provoking points you raised there. It's actually the adoption spreading over the next couple of years seems to be slower than we would expect, hey, Sarah? One would expect a more abrupt takeover.
100%. 100%. I think if honestly, if I was to tweak it just a little bit, I would include everything. Like I said, I would include everything in 1 year, because from the adoption of AI to now it becoming a normal conversation that you'd have over the dinner table, it's really moved at such a rapid pace that even I'll take the company that I work for example, we've actually partnered up with the likes of your co-pilots in order to introduce that AI to assist in enhancing your day-to-day emails, your grammar, etc., so that you are working together with that company, but you're also introducing the AI models to your team so that it's not this new concept and they're using it responsibly within the organization's frameworks.
I like that. Thank you very much. Thurian, your display is up. You can go when you're ready. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Ruan. Good evening, classmates. So my topic that I have chosen is quite interesting because I have a bit of an inside perspective regarding this. So my topic is AI in recruitment management, smarter hiring or risky decision making. So I have a colleague whose wife owns a recruitment agency, and I've heard quite interesting things regarding this sort of topic. So I would like to just start off by asking a question. So by quick show of hands, you guys can do a thumbs up or whatever emoji you want to use to react. Who thinks AI has already looked at their CV or will look at their CV in the future? Okay, cool. Those are quite a bit of you, so that's great. Thank you for responding. So for those of you who don't know, right, this is, I would say, a sort of a recent thing that's been going on in the past year, 2 years. So as a potential candidate, so as someone who is looking for employment and, will search on LinkedIn and PNet and Careers24, you would see a job that you like and you'd click on it, you'd fill in all your details, you'd then go about attaching your carefully crafted CV and you click send. So historically, or previously rather, your CV would be sent to a HR manager or a recruiting person from, the company. But what's occurring now is that your CV is being sent to, or being sent through, rather not to, but through a AI system which reviews your entire CV. Now, which is quite fascinating, right? Because I mean, who knew that you could remove the human out of human resources? So, sorry, just flick through. Yeah, so AI is now reviewing CVs, and what it does is that it extracts keywords, and based on pre-prompted or pre-decided key concepts from the company, it then is able to screen and sift through applications. Sorry, just yeah. So there are benefits of AI in management. There's faster screening time because there is no human physically having to go through each CV. There is also a lower recruitment cost associated from it because there is no human that you need to pay. In addition, it can handle high volumes of CVs and applicants, because I was looking at a article the other day that I think it was from the World Economic Forum, that said large companies like IBM and Unilever get up to 1,000 applicants on a daily basis, which is crazy, right? For these companies to receive that amount of CVs. And according to, I think it may be Forbes, that said that 98% of Fortune 500 companies use AI in their hiring process, which is quite an interesting fact to know. And lastly, it's more consistent in shortlisting. So with this particular point, I disagree, because I don't think consistency goes hand in hand with AI. I think AI is very inconsistent. But yeah, I mean, it is up for debate, that point. Okay, so the next slide. The risks and the ethical issues regarding AI in human resource management. There are biases in algorithms. AI can reinforce existing biases because it learns from historical hiring data, and that is already unfair. There's also a lack of transparency. Many AI systems do not clearly explain why a candidate is accepted or rejected, and it's unable to justify why it does what it does. Furthermore, good candidates are filtered out, for any reason. I know that some AI is unable to read certain applications or certain CVs because it's not in a format that is, readable by the AI, which is quite cool to know. And lastly, there's an over-reliance on technology. Managers may trust AI decisions too much, and at the end of the day, it can reduce critical human judgment in the hiring process. All right, so I would like to open up the floor to you guys, my peers. I believe that the best kind of learning is the learning that is, shared knowledge between, your peers. So I would like to ask you, should AI be used only as a support tool, or should it be allowed to automatically reject a candidate? I know that I think I have about 2 minutes left. So if you guys want to, I would really appreciate if you could, give your brief opinion regarding this question.
Hi, everyone.
You support? Hi.
Hello. Sorry. I'm battling. It's Monday. Good afternoon, everybody. Listen, I think it is a bit, for now, challenging, but AI is future, especially in the space of recruitment. So you've got to have at least a people-led AI. So meaning there must be an involvement of a human in your AI management.
So sort of to like overlook this process. Hello?
True. Agreed.
Yeah, okay, cool. Nice. Anyone else, guys?
I just
Yes.
wanted to make a comment. Very interesting topic, very relatable to all of us. There was a video about a week ago on TikTok. This lady was complaining that she applied in the evening. By the time she woke up, she had already received a rejection email. So it just proves that, yeah, when we're sleeping, AI is working on our application. She was so annoyed. Like, when did they even get an opportunity to go through my application? So in less than 12 hours, she had already received an email telling her, unfortunately, your application was not successful. So it is happening. So companies, these big companies that you made reference to, have started actually using AI in their recruitment process. Thanks.
Surya,
Yeah,
did you also encounter the whole idea of psychometric testing being fully automated and going with AI?
Yes. I did. I did hear about that a while ago, and but I mean, my opinion about psychometric testing is that's a whole different topic for another day. But I think it's a bit. I think it can get a bit unethical. Those companies that do implement psychometric testing.
Very
I don't
interesting.
think it's a
Last
true.
question
I don't
from
think it's a
Jaco.
true indicator.
Yeah, so just something that I've heard or read about is to say that, and Thurin, you mentioned that, these AI tools are looking for some keywords in the CV. So there's actually companies that now exist and they create CVs that can not bypass the process, but kind of contains the right words. So it's almost as if you're lying on your CV because you're including keywords in terms of skills, etc., just for the AI filtering process to actually accept the CV in order to be shortlisted, which is quite concerning.
Yeah, it's very. I just don't think the human can quite entirely be removed from human resources, because it's, at the end of the day, it is human resources, and there needs to be an element of a human being in this department, in this function, in this process. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and
Thank you. Thanks, Dorian. Thank you very much. All right, Kev, you're up next.
Hello,
Yes.
everyone.
Yep.
So I've gone and compiled a mini dissertation here, a mini dissertation. I just clocked myself in again at 6.5 minutes, so hopefully I can stick to that time. So
yes.
When I saw Dr. Ron actually suggested shadow AI as one of the topics of discussion, that made me very happy because it's a hotly debated topic right now at my workplace. So, okay, obviously then my discussion will be around shadow AI and the use thereof within the workplace, since this is something which is becoming increasingly significant in strategic management and organizational governance. Now, what exactly is shadow AI? So shadow AI is the off-the-books use of AI tools at work without the company's permission or oversight. Now, according to researchers like Silic and his team, this trend exploded because AI is being adopted so quickly in the professional world. While it is similar to the old problem of employees using unapproved software under the umbrella of shadow IT, shadow AI, on the other hand, is much more complicated. As described by Ross and his team, this is because AI can create its own content, its inner workings are often a mystery, and it can perform tasks on its own without a human watching every step. Now, a very popular tool that we all know that forms part of shadow AI are generative AI tools such as ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, and so on. These tools aren't exactly like standard calculators or Word documents. It doesn't just process data. It creates new content, summarizes information, and gives best guess answers that are often hard to double check. Now, a researcher known as Sebastian formulated a theory known as the digital shadow risk theory. And in this theory, he explains that because we can't see exactly how these tools think, they create brand new risks for company rules and privacy. This means that shadow AI isn't just a small IT glitch. It's a much bigger puzzle that sits right in the middle of three things: how we innovate, how employees behave, and how we keep the company safe. Now, an important question emerges. Why are employees using shadow AI in the first place? Research shows that employees aren't necessarily trying to be bad or to misbehave or to break rules. In a study of a global biotech company, Mansner found that the staff actually used unapproved AI simply because it gave them better and faster results. Catherine and her team also pointed out that shadow AI usually starts with good employees who just want to be more efficient at their jobs. Essentially, because people see AI as a powerful tool to get more done, they feel that using it, even without permission, is justified by the high quality work that they can produce. Research conducted by Chin and his team showed that in fast-moving tech companies, using these off-the-book AI tools actually tied to employees staying creative and beating competition. The research team, led by Ross and his colleagues, went on further to argue that shadow AI is like a smoke signal. It shows exactly where the company's official IT systems are failing to meet the needs of the staff. So instead of seeing it as employees being naughty or misbehaving or breaking rules, they see it as a clear sign that the business needs better technology to do its work. Now, however, while adoption may be understandable, governance structures often struggle to keep pace. Silik and his team came up with a term called the governance drift zone. This is the gap that exists between a company's official AI rules and what employees are actually doing at their desks. Even if a company has written policies, those rules don't often work in the real world. This creates a responsibility gap, a dangerous situation where no one is truly in charge of the AI. This is especially risky in departments like HR or legal, where if AI makes a mistake and no one checks it, the consequences for the company could be huge. Ross and his team argue that shadow AI is a sign that traditional security rules are failing because they weren't built for this kind of technology in the first place. This confusion is clear in Mansner's research, which found that even the IT experts couldn't agree on whether to ban these tools or not. This disagreement shows a much bigger problem. Most companies are still guessing and don't actually know how to manage AI in the real world. Beyond governance drift, the cybersecurity and compliance risks are substantial. Putha and her colleagues point out that because employees use AI off the books, the company's IT team can't ensure adequate safety measures. This opens the door to data leaks, compliance concerns, and poisoned AI results. Essentially, every unmonitored app, website, software, or tool becomes a new door which hackers can use to get into the company. Ross and his team further added that such vulnerabilities aren't down to just a few employees breaking rules, but rather a system-wide problem that old-fashioned company policies aren't equipped to fix. Again, when relooking at Sebastian's digital shadow risk theory, the theory helps us to name the specific dangers of using unapproved AI. These include accidentally sharing company secrets, losing control over where private data is stored, not understanding how the AI makes its decisions, and the risks of employees losing their own expert skills by relying too much on AI. Because AI is unpredictable and its inner workings are hidden, old-fashioned company rules don't work anymore. Strategically, this means businesses can't just use their old IT playbooks. They need to completely rewrite their rules to keep up with how AI actually works. Another critical dimension is knowledge management and sustainability. Research conducted by Chin and his team reveals an inverted U-shaped relationship between shadow AI usage and organizational knowledge leakage. Moderate usage may enhance performance and innovation. However, excessive usage increases the risk of proprietary knowledge leakage and negatively impacts the sustainability of business models. Importantly, they also demonstrate that AI knowledge-oriented HR practices can moderate these risks, suggesting that structured training and governance mechanisms can reduce harmful effects. Now, this introduces a strategic paradox, and I absolutely love this one. Shadow AI can enhance competitiveness in the short term, but unmanaged adoption may undermine long-term sustainability. Now, beyond knowledge risks, shadow AI also affects organizational culture and trust. Varshini's study in the Tamil Nadu IT sector found a strong positive correlation between unauthorized AI usage and workplace trust issues. While employees may gain efficiency in the short term, the hidden nature of shadow AI undermines transparency and relational cohesion. Unequal access to AI tools can also create disparities in shared work pressure and performance expectations. These findings align with Ross and his team's view of shadow AI as a socio-technical issue. affecting not only systems, but also social capital. From a strategic perspective, trust is an intangible asset. Its erosion can damage collaboration, morale, and long-term performance outcomes. Now, despite these risks, the literature does not suggest that shadow AI should simply be eliminated. On the contrary, Catherine and her team highlighted that if shadow AI is managed correctly, it can actually boost productivity, spark new ideas, and help a company stay ahead of its competitors. Putho and her colleagues add that these same AI tools can even make a company safer by getting better at spotting digital threats and unusual patterns as long as there are proper rules in place. To make this work, Gamey suggests building a shadow management system. This system would connect the company's internal knowledge with specialized AI assistants and secure communication tools, creating a constant loop of feedback that helps the business make better decisions while following the law. These perspectives shift the conversation from restriction to controlled enablement, another point that I absolutely love. So, what should organizations actually do? Now, Silik and his team suggest that there are some hands-on steps that companies can follow, like keeping an official list of approved AI tools, giving employees training specific to their jobs, doing regular checks, and having a clear plan for what to do when things go wrong. The research effort led by Catherine argues that companies need clear do's and don'ts, or acceptable use policies, and better ways to watch how AI is actually being used. Sebastian said that we need to update how we measure risk to include the specific dangers of shadow AI, while Ross and his team suggest creating a rating system that protects the company without killing new ideas. Finally, Mansner points out that following official laws like the EU AI Act, which is already in place, can give companies a solid structure to build their rules on. Collectively, these recommendations point toward adaptive, cross-functional governance involving IT, HR, legal, and executive leadership. In closing, and I'll try to keep this one short, for the people running a business, shadow AI is two things at once: a sign that the company's rules aren't working and a sign that the company is ready for new ideas. It shows the tug of war between employees who want to try new tech on their own and bosses who want to keep everything under control. If a company treats shadow AI only as a rule-breaking problem to be stopped, they will kill off creativity and get left behind by their competitors. However, companies that learn to be flexible by balancing new tech with fair rules, trusting their employees, and clear goals can turn off-the-books AI into a powerful tool that helps the business succeed in the long run. Ultimately, shadow AI is not disappearing. It's a reality. It's here to stay. The strategic question is not whether it will exist, but whether organizations will govern it proactively or reactively. Thank you. That's my presentation.
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting. Yeah, and what sort of the takeaway for me from your presentation is the slippery slope of policy and guideline formulation as we experiencing in education as well at the moment. Thank you. Mondli, we are ready for you. It's amazing how fast 8 minutes goes by. Hey, guys.
Sharing doc.
Hi. Audio is good and your
Audio is good.
presentation is
Can you see
loading.
my
Yep.
slide?
Everything is up. We are good to go.
Okay, so I'm going to be sweet and short. Good afternoon, everybody. So I did not prepare a mini dissertation. I've just prepared an ICE task. So my topic, I'm looking at AI in supply chain management. So what it is. So AI in supply chain management refers to integration of AI technologies, such as machine learning, natural language processing, robotics, and data analytics into various processes within supply chains. So AI aims also to improve decision-making within supply chain, also enhance efficiencies, and also create smarter systems that can autonomously adapt and optimize operations within the supply chain environment. So why supply chain? So everything within supply chain as well as retail business. For its success, if supply chain is not successful, cannot make decisions faster, cannot analyze data faster, most companies will then lose opportunities of competitive advantages. So AI helps in ensuring that companies are able to then gain competitive advantages through your data analytics. So what are some of the advantages and obviously the disadvantages that AI could present? So if we look at advantages first, it can analyze a large data set. Now, within the supply chain environment, there is a lot of information and data that comes in. So customer information, order information, as well as your inventory information that needs supply chain managers to make decisions at their fingerprints. So AI comes in handy there as it can be able to analyze and help with decision making. It also predicts trends, So when you look at AI, so for instance, within supply chain, it looks at what is happening currently within your environment. How, if we take logistics specifically, what is happening with logistics, it can look at how are the trends around logistics companies within supply chain. It can also look at opportunities of how can you improve your deliveries, how quick can you get around so that you can be able to get to your customer faster, automate tasks. So for instance, if you have your stock management systems, and you know that your people will be able to have tasks that are automated through AI within your supply chain. It can also help with accurately focusing do better insights, which also helps in terms of having more information and to help your supply chain managers to be able to focus better as to what needs to be done and how quickly they can achieve their objectives. It also streamlines their operations. With AI, you will know that when your information comes in from your customer, you pick your stock, you're ready to deliver to your customer, you notify your customer that you are on route to deliver. And when customers have received their orders, you can also get information back from your customers. And that is all through the work of AI. If we look at some of the disadvantages that AI can present within the supply chain environment, obviously job displacement. So as supply chain look into utilization of AI and robotics, people feel that they will lose their jobs because robots will take over. Privacy and data security, with more data that AI can gather and analyze, that also poses a risk that there could be data breaches, and which also could lead to challenges around data security. With AI, there's biases in decision making because AI uses information that has been around before. It can make biases in decision making. You can end up not focusing properly because the information that has gone through is biased. There's also challenges around accountability and transparency because AI make decisions and it can also focus specific tasks or specific information in your supply chain environment. And the big question then stands, who then takes accountability if there's those gaps that are left by AI? So what? So with evolving global landscape of supply chain demands and ever-increasing flexibility, accuracy, and efficiency, I think AI can really and has potential to really solve for that. If you look at supply chain, the speed is critical around supply chain. If you have speed, you can deliver quickly, you can make decisions quickly, and you can also forecast and predict what is going to happen in the future. That brings an opportunity of competitive advantage. If we look at traditional supply chain, which relied on statistic focus, linear information flows, and manual coordination, that has become less favorable. Because if you look at that, it doesn't allow you to have speed. It doesn't have transparency. You cannot have information at your fingertip. I think future is AI around supply chain, and most businesses, as they are using your purchases online, they rely on quick and efficient supply chain. I'll pause here. That's what I prepared around AI. Back to you, Doc.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Very interesting. But I must tell you, if I could just throw in something quickly here, it's so interesting, one can say it's an exhausting evening, or it can be, but I find it so exhilarating to do this. Tyler, you can set up to do this collaborative learning. Very interesting, very insightful. Thank you very much. Tyler, you're up next.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and your presentation is showing. Thank you very much. You
Okay,
can go
great,
to
thanks.
you can go to a fuller screen if you can. Yup, there we
Is
are.
that okay?
Perfect. Super.
Okay, cool. So my topic is actually quite similar to one of the other ones. I can't remember who presented, but yeah, anyway. So good evening, everyone. Today I am going to be discussing how artificial intelligence is reshaping managerial authority in organizations. Rather than just focusing only on whether AI replaces managers, I also want to explore something deeper. So that is how AI is changing who holds decision-making power and what that means for governance and accountability. Okay, so let me start with a question, and I'm going to carry on while everyone just thinks about the answer to this question. Who really makes decisions in organizations today, managers or the algorithms? So AI is already influencing hiring decisions, performance evaluations, or employee scheduling, risk assessments, and even strategic forecasting. So while managers are still present, authority is gradually shifting from humans to systems. This raises an important issue. If AI systems influence or make decisions, how does that change managerial authority? Next slide. Okay, so traditionally, managerial authority was always very clear. We obviously know that managers had power over decision-making, supervision, resource allocation, performance judgment, and accountability. Authority was clear, it was visible, it was human. And if a decision went wrong, we always knew who to blame or who made it. So responsibility was considered identifiable and centralized. So nowadays, AI systems are entering these same areas. So they analyze large amounts of data, predict outcomes, recommend actions, and even automate managerial processes. So two examples I have, companies like Amazon use productivity algorithms to monitor employee performance, and Uber uses algorithmic workforce management to allocate rides and evaluate drivers. So AI is no longer just a support tool, it is now influencing operational and managerial decisions. Okay, so this is where the real shift happens. Obviously, before AI, we had the manager making the decision, and obviously the outcome came about from there. We now have the AI system making the decision, and at times the manager may oversee it. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to say the other one first. Or we also have the AI system giving a recommendation and then the managerial approval. So that's just to show how things have changed over time. Managers are increasingly moving from decision makers to system supervisors. So authority now is no longer fully human. It's shared between managers and digital systems. Obviously, there are benefits to this shift. So some of these do include faster decision making. It provides data-driven insights. It can reduce certain forms of human bias. It improves efficiency and scalability, and it also allows predictive management. So this is where organizations can anticipate risks before they occur. So AI is not purely disrupted, it can complement managerial functions. Okay, however, this is where governance becomes complicated. So the question is, if AI makes a harmful or biased decision, who is actually responsible? Can managers challenge the algorithms they do not fully understand? And does authority still truly sit with humans? When managers rely heavily on systems they did not design and cannot fully interpret, authority becomes blurred. So the saying I have there at the bottom, authority without full control creates governance risk. And that is where organizations must rethink accountability structures as well. Okay. AI is also affecting the middle management specifically. So many tasks traditionally performed by middle managers, such as performance monitoring, reporting, forecasting, and scheduling, are now automated. So as a result of this, middle management is being reduced, reskilled, or transformed into oversight roles. This changes the managerial career path and shifts authority upward to systems and senior decision makers. This leads to my central argument. So AI is not eliminating managerial authority, but redistributing it between humans and systems. The biggest transformation is not job loss, it's the blurring of authority and accountability. Decision-making power is increasingly shared with algorithms, yet governance frameworks were designed for human decision makers. Organizations now need to rethink how they assign responsibility in AI-influenced environments. So here on the next slide are just a few references. I don't know if you just want to have a look at those. And then just to go to the last slide. So thank you. I'd also just like to end off with a question open for discussion. So my question is, should humans always have the final say when AI makes recommendations, or are we moving towards a future where AI systems are trusted to make decisions on their own as part of normal company rules? Thank you. So if anyone would like to answer that, you're more than welcome.
Tyler, thank you very much. Guys, let's hear what you have to say in the chat. Tyler, I thought you made a very, very powerful statement when you said this is where the real shit happens. But then I looked at your slide and I see you actually said shift. I'm just joking.
Oh, no. I wouldn't say that on the slides.
Wonderful presentation.
Thank
And
you.
I've got the sinking feeling that AI is going to take us to a place. We're going to let the pendulum swing to a place where we don't necessarily want it to go.
I
And
think
I
so
think
too.
I think there's a lot of people pushing that. There's a lot of hype pushing that pendulum. And I think it's going to places where we shouldn't tread. But that's me. Let's hear what you guys say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Taylor.
Thank
Kayleen,
you.
thank you. You went down in 6 minutes flat, guys. I'm gonna bring it in a bit shorter. I'm gonna see if we can work on 6 minutes. Kayleen,
Yes. Hi,
I
everybody.
will show you. I will tell you when your presentation is up.
Okay.
Up indeed.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So my
Yes.
presentation is also just like the rest, but like, okay. So I'm Kaylin Sheikh, and today I'll be presenting my topic on algorithm-led management. Not too long ago, management was slow, very human, annual reviews, spreadsheets, decisions made by people with opinions, bad days, and the occasional Monday morning moods. Then AI arrived. Overnight, the whole focus shifted. Performance tracking that was used to happen every year now happens every second. Hiring moved from handshakes to algorithms. Schedules started adjusting themselves in real time. Faster, more efficient, and matters more than what? And matters, sorry. Sorry, my phone just. And that matters more than most companies are willing to admit. In some of the biggest companies in the world, AI isn't assisting management, it is management. Take Amazon. They warehouse AI. Amazon Q tracks workers every second and every shift. Miss targets and the system automatically generates your termination notice. No manager, no conversation, and no second chance. Amazon has built the entire management ecosystem from customer engagement to logistics to pricing, and that is fully automated, data-driven, and constantly adapting. Then there's Unilever, which began AI implementation into the recruiting process in 2016. The AI has since screened over 250,000 video interviews, analyzing faces, tones, word choices, meaning you can be hired or cut without anyone at Unilever ever watching a second of your interview. And platforms like Uber, they operate with no manager at all. The app assigns rides, monitors performance, deactivates accounts automatically, and adjusts pricing in real time, reducing waiting times and improving driver utilization without a single human making the call. As illustrated in Figure 1, it shows how AI is pulling live and historical data to constantly optimize every decision across the platform, with every outcome feeding straight back into the system to make it smarter. In each of these companies, the human in management has quietly left the room. Now, to be fair, AI does make management better in some ways. Managers with good AI tools can make faster decisions, personalize at scale, and spend less time on admin and more time actually leading. And that's a genuine benefit. But what those three companies have in common is something more uncomfortable. They raise real concerns about biasness, data privacy, and accountability. Unilever's AI, for example, was designed to reduce biasness in hiring, yet questions have been raised about whether it actually perpetuates biasness or unfairly disadvantages certain people of candidates. Good intentions don't always survive the algorithm. In closing, the visible boss. AI in management has created three real problems. No emotional intelligence. AI chases matrix, not the person. No accountability. When AI fires someone with the law has genuinely hasn't caught up with who's responsible. And no appeal. Countless workers across Amazon and Uber platforms has globally had no way to challenge an automated decision that costed them their income. That's not efficiency, that's power imbalance. And that is why, more than anything else, AI in management is a disruption. For workers on the ground, AI isn't a helpful tool, it's a boss. It's their boss, invisible, unaccountable, and entirely indifferent to their circumstances. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kayleen. Very interesting, and I can hear you are very firm in that take. I mean, and of course you are a people person, right? You care about people and so on, and yeah, I tend to agree with you. Firing people with a system is ludicrous, hey? Thank you very much. All right. Then we said Karishni. All right, Karishni, I can see your
Can you see my screen?
no, your audio is good, but I can't see your video yet.
Is it showing now?
Not yet. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't. No, nothing yet. There's definitely mixed
I don't
feelings.
know why it's not allowing me to share.
Oh, that's funny, hey? And you're literally just going to the share button on top of your screen. We're gonna give you a minute to see if you can sort it out.
Yeah, it's fine. You can come back to me. It's fine.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
All right. So then, Karishna, we come back. let's go to Nkateko. Nkateko, if you're ready, you can go.
Okay, let me, where's my slide? Sorry.
Now, what I was saying, mixed feelings on AI, hey? Sure. And I think there's excitement and concern, deep concern with many of us. Nkateko, your slides is up.
Okay.
Your audio is good, so we're good to go. Thank you.
Okay. It seems like, sorry. Okay, hi guys, good evening. I know we are down to 5 minutes. I think I'm gonna fly through my slides. So my name is Nkateko, and as I introduced myself in our first class, in our first sessions, I'm in IT, in corporate, but specifically in sales. So first off, AI in management, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So AI has and continues to reshape managerial governance by acting as both a disruptor of traditional manual processes and equally a complementary force that enhances human decision-making and strategic foresight. Although that is the case, modern businesses are increasingly turning to automation as a critical strategy to maintain competitive and drive innovation in their spaces. So how AI is complementing managerial governance. AI has transitioned from being a threat to being part of our everyday lives. In this, I mean, okay, as it stands in 2026, businesses use AI in one way or the other, from how executive assistants are no longer required to sit in meetings and manually take notes and send them out after every meeting, to offering automated compliance monitoring and auditing tools that proactively manage cyber threats and everything in between. So businesses, by leveraging AI, managers can enhance productivity and communication, leading to better team management. I'm going to take it back to the basics and discuss how AI helps advance the management functions, of which this is the core of our course: planning, organizing, and leading and control. When AI is incorporated effectively with the management functions, it can lead to smooth operations, resulting in successful businesses. In planning, when management use AI well in their planning, it can lead to efficiency and automation. This is where repetitive tasks gets automated. Tasks such as preparing reports, and especially reports which are populated from the same sources, and also tracking regulatory updates. And this frees management to focus on high-value strategic and creative tasks. AI has the capability to perform comprehensive analysis with improved strategic foresight, accuracy, and efficiency. Also, the other capability of AI is the optimization of data. This makes tracking of sales data easier. I'm going to fly through all this. And the second function, the other function of management, is the organization. So AI analyzes massive contrasting data sheets in real time, especially in our space, where it provides deeper insights, allowing managers to move from reactive reporting to proactive data-driven strategies. And also it helps us to prioritize tasks based on deadlines, needs, and also team workloads. Interactive dashboards are one of the stuff that we use AI for, because AI reduces digital clutter, especially in sales, because there's a lot of information that we need to report on a monthly or weekly basis. And the basic one is the meeting management, of which every industry is using this. As I mentioned, that AI assists in transcribing meetings, summarizing key points, and making tackling action items like very easy for everyone, where it ensures that decisions are documented and followed up on. And in terms of leading, management is in the forefront of any business, so they need to be proactive. There's things like risk management. There's AI-driven tools which predict analytics. They are used to scan for early warnings of compliance irregularities and also reputational threats before they escalate. And in cases where disaster strikes, so businesses need to be proactive in managing such eventualities, such as a virus breakout. So where immediate action is required until permanent intervention is implemented, the right AI tools will analyze those patterns and make predictions and suggest resource allocations. This will enhance productivity, reduce stress on the management side, and also increase efficiency. Control. On control as a management function, AI ensures strengthened compliance. It helps navigate complex regulatory landscape, of which every industry has those kind of regulatory landscapes, by offering automated compliance, monitoring, and auditing tools. And this uses algorithms, of which some of you have already discussed what algorithms are, where systems recognize patterns and make decisions, and then improve themselves through the experience and data. And also in the sales space, we use e-commerce as well. We analyze buying patterns and scrolling patterns of individuals, and also the use of chatbots in terms of technical support and customer service. Although AI is making things faster and easier, it is not that artificial. AI is still machines which are programmed and fed information by human intelligence. So AI literacy is very essential, and also the control of our over-reliance on AI is essential in businesses. And then we also, businesses need to mitigate the accountability gap, because there's a thin line where it can get difficult for managers to explain or defend decisions which create challenges in maintaining accountability. In conclusion, AI is no longer a nice-to-have tool in business infrastructure. Instead, AI provides powerful tools for enhancing team performance, making data-driven strategic decisions, and building a workforce which is ready for future challenges. I read an article where it says a majority of top management believe their job stability depends on getting AI strategies right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed your visuals. Yeah, and accountability, guys. Accountability as it is a problem. Hey, have you seen how difficult it is to get to a right person? People are hiding behind a system or hiding behind this or that. So accountability is definitely something that is of concern. All right, Marce, let's go with you, and then we can go back and jump back to Karishni. Marce, I can see your slides, and you are welcome to proceed.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Masape Mofokeng, and I'm going to focus on artificial intelligence as a co-manager in the public service, a collaboration between humans and machines. Okay, let me minimize this. The public sector across the globe is now inclined to the use of AI tools. AI systems are used to modernize operations, improve service delivery, and optimize approval and decision-making processes. Unlike in the private sector, the public sector, because of its need to be accountable to the citizen, operates under scrutiny and may face ethical, legal, and policy limitation when it comes to the implementation of AI. These conditions present both opportunities and challenges for the adoption of AI in the management processes, projects, and staff. In the processes, projects, and staff, making it essential to develop a more rooted understanding of how AI can integrate into the public service environment. So in the South African government context, before we implement any framework, any policy, that's why you'll hear things are discussed in cabinet or parliament first. So our business plan for the next 5 years is called the medium-term development plan, and it's what government wants to achieve in this current administration. And key points that I've picked up from the current MTDP is that government wants to create a capable ethical, developmental state where digital reform is emerging as a key enabler of a capable, responsible, and integrated state, with the following milestones already reached. So these are some of the apps that we have in the public service that improve service delivery, and they do have AI integration in them. My Mzansi Citizen Platform, Mzansi Exchange. So while some of these projects are still underway and still in the pilot phase, but these are just some of the strides that government is trying to improve service delivery. I think we've all been frustrated by the long queues and the frustrating government process in us getting service delivery. Before anything can proceed, like I had indicated, we need to develop a policy. Fortunately, government is in the stage of creating a national artificial intelligence policy. But before a policy can be established, a first step that we undergo is to have a framework. So the framework is what we use to develop the policy. And this framework aims to promote the integration of artificial intelligence technology to drive economic growth, enhance societal well-being, and position South Africa as a leader in AI innovation. Since the beginning of this decade, AI has rapidly advanced and has now been recognized as a general purpose technology like electricity or the internet, due to its wide-ranging impacts across various sectors and its potential to transform economies and societies. In addition, ethical consideration, the framework in addition to the ethical consideration, the framework outlines the key pillars such as robust data governance frameworks, infrastructure enhancement. We would need the public service to have capacity to roll out these AI programs. It does not make sense for us to now digitize Home Affairs, but Home Affairs is always offline. So the infrastructure has to complement the work that we're trying to put in as the public service. A significant investment in research and innovation. These pillars are crucial in creating an enabling environment where AI technologies can thrive and contribute meaningfully to sectors such as healthcare, education, and public administration. Can I please have a minute? My son is screaming.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And the opportunities that are in the public service using AI to better service delivery is upskill and hire younger teams in the public sector. We're tired of having people that can boldly say, oh, I've been in the public service for 35 years. Why are you still there 35 years later? Don't you want change? The use of AI presents opportunities for linear teams, making approvals and decision-making much faster. AI allows the state to globally benchmark with other growing economies and attract foreign investment. The risk, the reduction of the workforce may lead to higher unemployment rates in South Africa. The use of AI presents the risk of data misfeed and system glitch might halt a lot of process and delay service delivery. Resistance from teams and management and wanting to rely on AI to do the work for you and people not wanting to do the work. In conclusion, artificial intelligence is considered a powerful tool for solving problems. It helps humans reduce workload. It helps leaders reduce friction, improves decision-making, scale quality, and protect the teams from burnout. The risk becomes when doing nothing and expecting AI to manage on your behalf. The public service can do more using less resource to achieve the best results. AI can be used in the recruitment process, the approval of memos, and project reporting. AI succeeds where leaders allow innovation, teams are upskilled, the case or objectives are clear, and the outcomes are measured. And AI fails when vision is absent. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I haven't had a chance to use my axe, but it's going to show now. Listen, it's very interesting. Quickly, guys, we can discuss this at another time. I drove down to Bloem this weekend. There was roadworks, and my wife and I counted 20 people who have the job of waving a red flag. Karishna, you can try and share again. If you can't share, please, no stress. Don't lose sleep over that. Leaner teams, more efficient. Do we need 60 people working in an Home Affairs office? Now I can ask the question, political will, political ideology, is it on job creation or is it on meaningful jobs? Is it to say, well, we might go to leaner teams, but be more productive? And if people that are excluded or removed from those teams, if we stimulate the economy, then we can maybe make the assumption that we can take those people up in other sectors of the economy, and maybe move away from the job creation myopic vision and say just give people jobs for the sake of giving a job, hey? But that's a debate for another day. Do you want to try and share it again, Karishni?
Hi, sir. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to share.
Okay, dogs. No worries. Don't worry. Don't worry at all.
Yeah.
Let's move on. That's no problem whatsoever. All right, Lidie.
Good evening, sir. I'll share now my screen.
Okie dokes.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
You can go to slide mode. I can see your screen, your audio is working, and you're good to fly.
Okay, it's on slide mode now, right?
Yep, you are.
Perfect, thank you. So I'm just doing AI and its influence on management, which is obviously very general. So for the first area was from supervision to orchestration. Sorry, I can't say the word. The AI is reshaping the traditional middle management model, as up to 40% of current middle management tasks can be automated, particularly those involving information flow, task supervision, and performance monitoring. As these responsibilities shift into AI systems, the role of managers is evolving rather than disappearing. Instead of focusing on oversight and coordination, many managers are emerging as human AI orchestrators. Their value increasingly lies in areas where AI falls short, such as cultivating team culture, strengthening collaboration, fostering innovation, and applying ethical judgment. Emotional intelligence, empathy, creative problem solving, and the ability to bridge technology and human needs are becoming central competencies in AI-enhanced workplaces. The AI paradox is where business become more autonomous, they demand greater human reflection and oversight. Managers must critically evaluate AI-generated insights to ensure alignment with organizational values, rather than accepting outputs as objective truth. So AI enters the boardroom. So AI is not only in middle management, but has also gone into corporate governance. In the greater grander scheme of things of the board. In 2014, Deep Knowledge Ventures assigned an AI as their sixth member of its board, called Vital. Like other human board members, this AI had the ability to vote on whether the business invested in a specific startup. Although it did not receive formal corporate director status due to Hong Kong's corporate law rules, and was considered a board member with observer status, Vital is widely regarded as the world's first AI company director and represents the first example of AI entering a company board and influencing decision-making. Similarly, Tito became the first in the Nordic countries to nominate an AI named Alicia T to its leadership team in a new data-driven business unit, allowing this AI to participate in team meetings and vote on business direction. This demonstrates how governance is evolving as managers and boards are not the only members who have an influence on the business, but now adding AI as an influence. AI governance has evolved from a technical IT issue into a fundamental strategic and ethical priority for modern boards. Currently, many organizations operate in a governance vacuum, with 39% of boards lacking AI expertise and only 19.7% possessing policies for transparent use. This oversight is essential for maintaining stakeholder trust and brand integrity as organizations risk losing their social license to operate if AI systems are perceived as biased or opaque. Directors must navigate an expanding risk landscape characterized by systematic bias, alignment faking, and market instability. They face a dual imperative. They must aggressively pursue AI for competitive advantage while simultaneously implementing rigorous safeguards to protect the enterprise. Effective oversight requires that human judgment remains a final authority for strategic decisions and that boards address the human element through workforce reskilling and managing techno stress. Furthermore, boards must address the rise of shadow AI, the unsanctioned use of AI tools by employees, which creates security vulnerabilities and erodes internal trust. As the global regulatory landscape shifts with landmarks like the EU AI Act, boards are expected to transition from a regulate and forget mindset to adapt and learn approach. So the changing managerial skill set. To navigate the disruption, managerial competencies are undergoing a radical shift. Basic AI knowledge is increasingly recognized as an essential for managers in order to properly judge what AI can and cannot do, and to use it in ways that actually add value to management work. Managers must also act as facilitators of cultural change. They must ensure their teams are technologically prepared. They must embrace new technologies and remain aligned with evolving organizational goals. Their responsibilities include identifying relevant AI use cases, promoting AI internally, acting as role models, and fostering a supportive learning environment where employees feel encouraged to experiment with AI tools. To perform these tasks effectively, managers must develop strategic thinking, change management, and communication skills, as well as an awareness of how AI can benefit the organization. Structured approach to AI governance. Management integrates AI, or management can integrate AI using an AI implementation compass, which requires alignment of the micro, meso, and macro levels of an organization. At the micro level, managers govern 6 internal pillars, which is problem with identification, which is defining what AI will solve, process consolidation of standardizing workflows, purpose, which is communicating AI's role, performance by setting competencies, productivity by optimizing resources, and lastly, planning, which is of strategic alignment, which is all done to ensure AI initiatives are clearly defined, strategically aligned, and value-driven. At the meso level, based on Leavitt's diamond model, managers must orchestrate the interdependencies between people, tasks, structure, and technology. And change in one of these dimensions, such as through the introduction of autonomous AI agents, inevitably requires adjustments in roles, structures, and workflows. At the macro level, external enablers connect internal AI efforts with technological developments, market trends, and customer expectations. Organizations must align infrastructure and structure with new technologies, integrate AI smoothly into existing processes, assess its impact on roles and skills, and combine AI capabilities with human expertise to drive innovation and remain competitive. So I would like to just conclude. I know I don't have a conclusion slide, but that I want to say that AI is both disrupting and complementing management. It's disrupting it by taking away the old or the normal ways of the management task before, and is making now that AI will transform the manager role by focusing on strategic and being human-centered. And then these are the references I used to do the whole presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lily. Very nice, very interesting. Nice research. All right, it's Georgia next. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's applaud. All right, Georgia, you can load and you can get ready.
Okay, let's do this thing.
All right, your show is up.
It's going on the wrong side. Let's see. Did it show on the right side? Did you guys see my notes?
We actually see your team screen and we see two screens.
And over here, do you see my notes? Wait, there we go.
Yeah, now we see a full screen slideshow.
Perfect. Okay. So much
Thanks,
for
Jay.
AI.
All
eh?
good. Perfect.
Okay. First of all, good evening, everyone. AI in management. Faced with a complex and highly volatile contemporary landscape, organizations have been prompted to increase their agility in order to meet and respond to the rising concerns of uncertain and ambiguous environments. These environments are rife with the hyper-involvement of consumer preferences, the disruption of traditional market spaces, and significant shifts in internal workplace dynamics. Artificial intelligence has been posed as the solution. With big data analytics, machine learning, and automation, to name a few, AI seems to be the answer. However, while manpower and human limitations may be solved, AI power and AI limitations have now become a concern contemporary managers face. In this presentation, this presenter will cover how AI can help managers, what AI does to hinder management, and will conclude with recommendations on how contemporary managers can respond to these hindrances. Just a side note before I continue, because the time has changed, I might have to leave a couple points out, but we'll take it as it comes. How AI helps managers. The first point on how AI helps managers includes the data-driven decision-making and algorithm-led management. Artificial intelligence enables managers to move from intuition-based decision-making to evidence-based management. Machine learning algorithms can analyze large organizational data sets like sales, productivity, ever-changing customer behavior, and operational metrics, and generate predictive insights in real time. This supports faster and more consistent decision-making processes. Algorithm-led management refers to the increasing role of algorithms in allocating tasks, monitoring performances, and even evaluating outcomes. Rather than managers directly supervising every process, algorithmic systems provide dashboards, alerts, and optimization recommendations. Another point on how AI can help managers includes AI agents and human AI collaboration. AI agents represent a more advanced stage of AI adoption. Unlike simple automation tools, AI agents can autonomously perceive inputs, make decisions, and execute tasks. Examples of this is like scheduling a meeting. This creates hybrid organizational structures where managers supervise both human employees and AI systems. Research suggests that all human, or at least human AI collaboration, often outperforms either human or AI working alone, especially in complex problem-solving and forecasting environments. Managers therefore shift from task supervisors to more of the orchestrators, as we've heard many times before, of socio-technical systems, designing workflows where AI augments human strengths like creativity, empathy, strategic judgment, while handling analytical or repetitive tasks. A third point as to how AI helps managers includes the section on enhanced HR decision-making and workforce planning, again speaking to the hiring practices that we've heard of earlier. AI significantly transforms human resource management by improving recruitment, screening, performance analytics, skills mapping, and even workforce forecasting. Predictive analytics can identify patterns in turnover risk, employee engagement, and performance trends. From a strategic perspective, AI enables more proactive workforce planning, allowing managers to anticipate talent gaps, reskill employees, that's a little foreshadow for later, and allocate human capital more effectively. However, peer-reviewed research highlights ethical concerns such as algorithmic bias in recruitment and transparency in performance evaluation systems. What AI hinders in management? In terms of AI hindrances, the de-skilling of middle management represents a new AI challenge and is the first point of discussion. AI can automate routine managerial tasks, which opposingly reduces skill development for managers rather than simply augmenting it. This can be seen in automation of routine tasks. Research on AI's impact shows that while many management skills such as communication and complex decision-making may be augmented, certain core functions traditionally practiced by middle managers like information gathering and simple decision-making could be fully replaced by AI systems. However, when humans stop practicing these skills, they will weaken over time. This is reduced learning by doing. Middle managers traditionally gain expertise through repeated practice, navigating uncertainty, interpreting data, and making judgment calls. AI systems that do these functions without active managerial involvement can shrink opportunities for skill development. This creates a shift to oversight roles. Early research on Gen AI's effect on middle management shows task redefinition, where roles move from operational decision-making towards oversight and facilitation. This shift may emphasize supervision of AI, not necessarily strengthening traditional management competencies like planning and strategic problem solving. This hinders management as without active engagement in core managerial functions, middle managers risk losing judgment, contextual awareness, all of which are skills that are hard to rebuild once lost. Another AI hindrance to management is shadow AI, as we've heard earlier. I'll skip the part of what it is, just as I'm running out of time, but this is done at least. Shadow AI refers to the AI tools being used unofficially outside of formal IT governance, but this creates risk inconsistency and management blind spots. This is done by employees without organizational oversight, meaning that management often doesn't even know how or where or why AI is being used. This creates conflicting organizational outcomes, while unofficial AI use can feel beneficial in terms of speed and creativity. It also leads to ethical concerns, security risks, etc. I'm going to skip our third point just because of time and move on to the recommendations.
Thanks, Jay. You need to come in for a landing.
Oh goodness. Okay, I'm just going to land and say these are the recommendations really quickly.
Don't crash land, but land.
Organizations should invest in AI literacy and continuous skill development so that managerial capacity and capability evolves rather than declines. That's in terms of preventing de-skilling. In terms of shadow AI, instead of banning AI use, managers should provide approved platforms and establish clear policies, much like the AIE, EIE, oh my goodness gracious. Governance should enable innovation, not suppress it. That's my main point for managing shadow AI. And my last point in terms of protecting accountability really spoke to managerial accountability. And to prevent the loss of managerial accountability, organizations must clearly define decision rights. There should always be a named human accountable for AI-influenced decisions. And that is my presentation.
Thank you very much. Jay, that was nice content. Aesthetically pleasing visuals, good research, and you speak a lovely English. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Karishni, do you wanna take a shot? Yes.
Can you see?
Yep.
Finally.
All good. Perfect.
Okay. Good evening, sir and fellow peers. My topic is the configuration of managerial authority and corporate governance in the age of artificial intelligence. The theme is AI in management, and my central question is, does AI disrupt management or enhance it? AI has moved beyond simple automation. It now shapes how decisions are made at strategic level. In companies like Apple, Samsung, and LG, AI is embedded in forecasting systems, performance monitoring, and even product innovation. So the real question is not whether AI is used, but how it changes who holds the power in organizations. From an agency theory perspective, AI reduces information gaps between executives and shareholders by improving transparency and monitoring. This corporate governance research shows boards increasingly use AI-generated dashboards for oversight, yet regulation struggles to keep pace. Social technological theory reminds us that performance depends on the interaction between humans and technology, not replacement. This means AI becomes part of the governance structure itself. At Apple, AI improves monitoring and forecasting. For example, the iPhone uses machine learning for computerization photography and user behavior learning. Siri amplifies natural language processing, and more importantly, Apple uses predictive analytics in supply chain planning. Research shows AI improves strategic responsiveness and reduces bounded rationality in executive decisions. So, in Apple's case, AI enhances governance efficiency rather than replacing managers. Samsung demonstrates how AI can reproduce its authority. The Galaxy S series uses AI-powered generative editing and optimization. Bixby integrates voice intelligence across devices. Internally, Samsung applies AI in semiconductor manufacturing and R&D allocation. This creates what Kellogg et al. Called an algorithmic authority. Managers who lack data literacy risk in losing influence. So, AI does not remove hierarchy, it restructures it around data capability. LG provides an example of complementarity. LG ThinQ connects appliances through a central AI system that learns consumer behavior. It's the OLED TVs that use AI Picture Pro for deep learning image enhancement. However, managers still interpret AI's outputs and make final strategic decisions. Jahari also argued that AI performances best used with human judgment. Therefore, LG illustrates enhancement rather than disruption. The strategic benefits of AI: decision speed, forecast accuracy, resource allocation, strategic foresight. Recent studies confirm measurable performance improvements, and we've seen these benefits that depend on data governance maturity, executive capability, and ethical oversight. Technology alone does not create advantaged organizational adaptation. Governance risk. AI introduces governance challenges. Shrestha et al. Warned about optimization bias when managers overtrust algorithms. Kellogg et al. Highlighted that about blurred accountability. If an AI-generated forecast causes financial loss, who is responsible? The manager, the engineer, the board? This diffusion of responsibility requires governance reform. In conclusion, across Apple, Samsung, and LG, AI does not eliminate management, it transforms it. The modern manager must be data literate, governance aware, and ethically reflective. The evidence suggests AI enhances efficiency and monitoring capacity, but without governance redesign, it can create opacity. Therefore, AI is both disruption and enhancement, but enhancement dominates when institutions evolve alongside technology. Thank you. I now invite the audience to answer this question.
Interesting. Guys, let's have your answers in the chat. Which company among Apple, Samsung, and LG demonstrates the most effective integration of AI? Yeah, think about that and tell us what you think. Thank you so much for sharing, Karishni. Karina, you can go next, guys. Give us an answer on Karishni's question. Karina, you can set up.
And then I also had a little joke to end off.
Let's look at your joke. Crazy. Yeah, we are in for something, hey? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Karishni. Yeah, I agree with Janelle. Your voice is soothing. One can listen to you. All right.
Hi, sir. Can we see the slideshow?
Karina, I can see your slides. Your audio is good. You can go.
Hi, everyone. Hope all are well. So today I'm going to look at AI as a source of sustainable competitive advantage in strategic management. Okay. Looking at initial advantages of AI, we see that it streamlines business processes, increases worker productivity, redefines premium skills, and unlocks the potential of data. With organizations such as Amazon, Microsoft, and Google incorporating it into their core strategy, operations, and customer value creation, it has positioned AI as a strategic asset as opposed to just an operational tool. However, the question that remains is, can AI be a source of sustainable competitive advantage? To answer this, I made use of the resource-based view as well as the VRIO framework. The resource-based view developed by Jay Barney argues that firms achieve sustained competitive advantage when they possess resources that are V, valuable, R, rare, I, imitatable, and O, organized to capture value. In today's digital economy, AI is often labeled as a strategic resource, but RBV forces us to move beyond hype and evaluate whether AI actually meets these criteria. Importantly, AI should not be analyzed as an isolated technology. Rather, it must be understood as a strategic capability embedded in organizational systems, data infrastructure, and managerial processes. Valuable. Does AI create strategic value? AI clearly satisfies the valuable condition when aligned with strategy. From a management perspective, AI contributes to cost leadership through automation, differentiation through personalization, improved strategic decision-making through predictive analytics, and faster innovation cycles. For example, Amazon uses AI to optimize logistics, recommend products, and dynamically adjust pricing. These capabilities directly enhance both operational efficiency and customer value. However, management literature shows that AI investments often fail when they are treated as IT projects rather than strategic initiatives. Thus, AI is valuable only when leadership integrates it into corporate strategy and performance metrics. Rare. Is AI scarce? Is AI a scarce strategic resource? At first glance, AI is not rare. Cloud-based AI tools and open-source machine learning models are widely available. This reduces technological scarcity. However, what remains rare from a strategic perspective is proprietary data, organizational learning routines, AI talent concentration, and platform ecosystems. For example, Tesla accumulates real-time driving data from various vehicles. The data set is not easily replicable. This customizes driving experience. For managers, this shifts the focus from buying AI tools to building unique data assets and internal capabilities. Therefore, AI alone is not rare, but AI embedded in firm-specific resources can be. Imitable. Can competitors copy AI advantage? Sustained advantage requires barriers to imitation. Basic AI systems are easily copied. However, AI becomes difficult to imitate when it is part-dependent, integrated into complex organizational processes, reinforced by network effects, and continuously improved through learning. Consider Microsoft. Its AI capabilities are embedded across Azure, enterprise, software, and global cloud infrastructure. Replicating this ecosystem requires massive capital, partnerships, and time. From a management standpoint, imitation barriers are created not by algorithm, but by organizational complexity, cross-functional integration, and strategic orchestration of complementary assets. This reinforces the dynamic capabilities perspective. Competitive advantage lies in orchestrating resources faster than your rivals. And finally, organized. Is the firm structured to capture AI value? According to research, this is often where firms fail. AI may be valuable, rare, and difficult to imitate, but without appropriate organizational alignment, its potential is lost. Being organized involves executive-level AI governance, ethical risk management frameworks, cross-department collaboration, talent development, and reskilling, cultural acceptance, and data-driven decision-making. For managers, this means AI strategy must be embedded at board and executive level, not isolated in technical departments. In conclusion, applying VRIO reveals that AI is valuable when strategically aligned. It is really rare in isolation. AI is difficult to imitate only when embedded in complex ecosystems and generates sustained advantage only if firms are organized to capture its value. Therefore, artificial intelligence does not automatically create sustained competitive advantage. Sustainable advantages arise from managerial capabilities to integrate AI into the firm's specific resources, data, and dynamic organizational systems. In short, AI is not an advantage. Strategic management of AI is. Thank you.
Oh, I like your final sentence. Thank you very much. Thanks, Karina. Thank you very much. All right, then we've got Jonathan.
Hello, Doc. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Just give me a second to quickly get my slideshow.
Jaco, tell us in the text, just give us some of the things that you are talking about discovery. It's very interesting. All right, Jonathan, your press is up. Audio is fine. You can fly.
Sorry, I just want to quickly just check something here. It's giving me a bit of a technical difficulty.
Thank you, Jonathan. Your time is up. That was very, very interesting.
Wow. Shame.
That was short, but it was good.
As long as I get full marks, I'd be happy with that, eh? Okay, I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. I don't know why it's not assisting me in making it a full screen.
It's showing full screen here. It's looking better.
Okay, is it good on your side? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a different topic for those that obviously don't know, because I haven't really met any of you. I am a high school teacher at a private school in Benoni, and one of the biggest challenges that I've been facing for the last couple of years is when I actually assess a student's project or assignment, whatever the case may be, I've found that bias, unfortunately, finds its way into the way that I actually mark assessments. So, for example, my current students had to create their own currency, and I was going to assess them on their ability to create and formulate a new currency of their own choice. So I thought of possible ways that AI could obviously integrate into education as a whole, and obviously whatever the benefits thereof could be, we can associate this to businesses as well. So that's where my thinking was. Okay, so just want to check here, go to the next slide. Okay, so you'll notice AI in education. So obviously there are various benefits and various examples of how AI is actually present. So the first one is artificial intelligence helps students and teachers in simple ways, such as personalized practice. Platforms like Khan Academy give extra questions based on what a student gets wrong. Homework help AI tutors explain answers step by step at various times. Then we've got automatic grading, which has been fantastic. I've actually managed to incorporate this. For example, multiple choice tests being marked instantly, translation and speech tools, which helps students who speak different languages. On my next slide, AI-driven transformation in education specifically. There are data-driven decisions which track performance and identify at-risk students. We've got predictive analytics, which forecast success in personalized learning. Automation obviously finds itself in the way that we do things, such as streamline grading, admissions, and student support. And then the most important part of all, and this includes us as master students, is we want to focus on the result. So faster decisions, greater efficiency, proactive intervention, and then data-informed management. So why does this all matter? So if you look there, AI is changing how businesses operate by impacting important facets of management. Obviously, this could include a school as well. It has an impact on decision-making, power dynamics, and employee oversight and assessments. The key question that arises when AI automates repetitive work and supports decision-making is whether it will replace managers or enable them to lead more successfully. Okay, so AI driving disruption in management. The use of AI in management has replaced human decision-making with algorithms, like I just mentioned when it comes down to my assessments that I mark, which might enhance prejudice and discrimination if the underlying data is faulty. Autonomy and discretion are curtailed as administrative authority erodes, raising privacy issues and decreasing supervision of delicate choices. When AI is used to assign jobs, to track productivity, or to set pay in place of human oversight, mistakes and false information may spread unchecked and endanger both employees and corporate results in that sense. Because it is unclear who is accountable when AI makes mistakes, this leads to an accountability vacuum, underscoring the necessity of ethical frameworks and careful human oversight. In my situation, I don't think I would have a choice. It's just the way that things would work out if I was the one that actually marked their assessment. Okay, so how AI complements management. There are various examples of this. So AI in general strengthens management through smarter decisions. It helps us with better forecasting, risk analysis, and resource allocation. Predictive governance is specifically important, such as fraud detection. A lot of the times when I mark an assignment, for example, there is high levels of plagiarism that finds itself in. So we've noticed that there are various AI tools that I can actually incorporate to help me when I mark an assessment, and that we can kind of get rid of fraud, because in the same sense it is seen as fraud. This includes compliance and ESG monitoring. So bias, like I just mentioned, that's kind of the main motivation behind my speech today. And risk detection, we want to improve transparency and fairness to make sure a person would get the appropriate mark at the appropriate time. We want to focus on strategic agility, so simulations, scenario testing, and rapid adaptation. Managers in general become data enhanced leaders, not obsolete decision makers. Okay, new governance models, human in the loop. So AI recommends, humans decide, and we make sure that accountability and ethics find its way into whatever AI has actually decided on. Then AI governance, this includes ethics, policies, algorithm audits, data governance. Future managers, this includes data literacy, AI oversight, ethical judgment, and then strategic thinking. And then lastly, AI doesn't replace managers, it reshapes their role. So this is a vital tool that every single one of us can actually utilize in our own careers. And then when it comes down to my conclusion, AI in management oversees the following. It changes who has power. It reshapes how organizations and schools specifically are run. It improves decision-making on a daily basis. It raises new responsibility issues. And then if we look at the future, the obsolete place that we can find ourselves in is when we have a mix of human judgments and AI intelligence working hand in hand. And then, yeah, I've got my slideshow there.
Jonathan, thank you so much. I think you are an excellent teacher. Do you enjoy teaching?
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
So I just want to stop
The
sharing.
one thing that is absolutely true is AI is here and it's here to stay, and we are in for some interesting times, hey? All right, Ree, you can load. Thanks, Yaku. I see Yaku is sharing us some of the Discovery AI things.
Interesting. Okay. Entire screen.
Ree, I can hear you. The audio is on the soft side. Maybe if you can speak a bit louder, and there's loading, something is loading. All right.
Can you see my screen?
Your video is up. Looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go. Just speak. Make sure you speak loud. All right. Good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc. Hi, everyone. My topic is around how AI influences culture in the insurance industry. I wanted to make it more relatable to the line of work I do every day. So I start off by describing what my understanding of culture and what I've read throughout when I was preparing for this is, and I believe it's the beliefs, norms, values, and behaviors that determine practices and how things are done in a corporate setting. And what is the role of AI in the insurance industry? So AI plays a role everywhere in every touch point of the insurance process. And I'm specifically speaking about the short-term insurance industry here, which is the automation of processes, whether it's in the claims, it's in the sales, or in the there's an area, the policy maintenance space, or even in the underwriting or predictive pricing and customer churn prediction. This is how AI plays a role in those areas and more. I just listed those ones. And then what is the cultural shift in AI? That AI introduces to the insurance industry is that we move from just being product centric and process centric to customer centricity, because it offers a lot of segmentations. It offers a lot of data that helps us with personalizing. It helps us coming up with better and faster decisions. And it also acts as a differentiator in terms of competitiveness or competitive advantage. And what I mean by that, we move from being reactive to risk and to actively and proactively managing it. If I can give an example, applications such as Vitality in the discovery space provide us with information of how our daily behaviors. That kind of information not only help us manage risk, but proactively prevent it from happening and educating our clients and educating ourselves as an industry. So what is the impact of AI or its influence on management? Is that it changes roles. It changes from being technical about things and being just in underwriting or in sales or whatever role you play within the insurance industry, but to actually interpreting data that is made readily available by AI. And leaders become also encouraged to become more AI literate and also overseers of innovation and AI because it provides innovation. And then, but then the human judgment still remains. A system cannot be empathetic. A system cannot provide sound judgment like a human being would. And the ethical decision making still remains with the human responsibility. So that's the only shift in the influence it has. It has the influence of moving from a technical role into a data interpreter, but then still enables the managers to still be human, which is what AI cannot do. And then in terms of governance and accountability, is that AI cannot take accountability for laws and regulations. For example, in the insurance industry, there's laws and regulations that govern us. We cannot rely on AI to be accountable for such things. Relationship building, a mission cannot build relationship with other human beings, with our suppliers, with our intermediaries, and so forth. That's where the humanness still remains effective. So AI cannot take responsibility alone. It's more of a support function, as it has been alluded by everyone who presented earlier. So in conclusion, for the insurance industry, how I see AI is that it's very great in the processes, in providing efficiency, in providing competitive advantage from a digital point of view, from a data gathering point of view. But we still need human beings to govern and comply with the laws and regulations. And more than that, be human beings and connect with our clients and understand the people that we're actually servicing. And that's it. And these are some of the things, the references that I looked at when I was preparing for this presentation. That's it for me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Really interesting points, good research. Yeah, guys, I must say, I'm quite impressed. That was the people that volunteered. Is there anyone else that wants to? I see we are out of time. Guys, Wenzile, do you want to go?
Yes, sir. Like to do it, get it over and done with quickly. Shouldn't be longer than 4 minutes.
Okay, dokes.
On my headphones quickly. I'm not sure if it can be.
Yep,
seen.
it is. It is up.
Okay.
All right.
Just need to open. Sorry, my speech. Okay, greetings. I'll be discussing the role of AI in transforming leadership and situating this within the context of traditional management paradigms, modern leadership theories, and strategic management models. Historically, management has focused on efficiency, productivity, and performance maximization, as argued by Frederick Taylor. Taylor argued that management should aim to obtain the highest prosperity of the employer and the highest prosperity of every employee, which was to be attained by research, standardization, and empirical quantification. This principle is more prevalent in the era of AI. As an example, AI-based applications such as IBM Watson have increased manufacturing efficiency by up to 20% in companies such as General Electric through automation of various analyses. AI can bring some of the ideas of Taylor to life by making management more accurate and scalable. However, Peter Drucker differentiated management as doing things right and leadership is doing the right things. AI is efficient in the former, though that is debatable, but improving performance by automation and data-driven accuracy. But in the latter, where judgment is dominant, it is not. It is leaders who should face ethical challenges and communicate organizational vision in turbulent times. Warren Bennis defined leadership as the ability to turn a vision into reality, which AI enhances but does not create. Neural networks can provide leaders with scenario modeling and foresight, but vision is produced by human intuition and values. Likewise, the 8-step change model outlined by John Kotter highlights the importance of leadership in creating a sense of urgency, forming coalitions, and generating short-term wins, which require emotional intelligence and being relationship savvy, neither of which AI possesses. Strategic management theories, such as Porter's 5 forces, show how AI can change industry dynamics by increasing or decreasing the threats of new entrants in various industries. However, it is up to leaders to strategically decode these forces and make decisions to advance the cause of the business and its stakeholders. To conclude, AI does not replace leadership or management, but rather enhances its transformation from a more transactional supervision to more transformational shaping. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Wenzile. Guys, I see we are 4 minutes over time. Was that everyone? I see Tiara. If you want to present, I'm absolutely going to give you an opportunity. Guys, I will excuse you if you leave the meeting. I know we are over time, but I'm here if you want to. There's a hand also from Georgia. Yes, Georgia?
Hi, Doc. Sorry, I just wanted to mention something. I realized that when we're doing our presentations, that you're actually holding up like a thing that says 2 minutes or whatever. I just wanted to say, I don't think anyone actually saw it because when we present, it takes over the whole screen. And I just realized that's probably why you were saying like you need to come in for that crash landing. So I don't know if anyone else saw it, but I definitely didn't see it when we were going.
Yeah, so we will make a different plan next time. I have an axe also. I don't know if you guys saw me with an axe.
Maybe
I was
like a
waving around
buzzer.
an axe.
Yeah.
But
like a buzzer or something that's like beep beep. You just unmic yourself or something like that.
I'll do that. I'll think of something creative. Listen, thank you very much. Let's listen. Tiara says yes. That'll be the last person to present. You guys are welcome to stay. Please stay if you can. Otherwise, I'm happy to excuse you. And Tiara, you can share.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
I can.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. What about now?
Nope, no joy.
Okay. 1 second. Can we see?
Okay, now you're up.
Okay. No. Okay. Um, yeah, so sorry, let me just get my bearings. The angle I chose for this presentation focuses on governance and ethical dilemmas of AI on managerial accountability. I think we've heard quite a bit on managerial decision-making, governance, accountability, and I really don't think I have much new information to add to the impressive presentations we've had tonight. I think that's the disadvantage of being like the last person to go. But let's treat this as just a conclusion, and I will run through the slides and we'll push through it. Okay. I wanted to start with a hypothetical scenario. And in the scenario, a company is facing declining margins and senior leadership approves the use of an AI-driven workforce for optimization. The AI decides that they need to lay off people, and it leads to some backlash, right? HR schedules termination meetings the same week, and 2 weeks later, serious problems emerge. So one department can't meet client deadlines because several employees with niche institutional knowledge were dismissed. The terminated employees file complaints alleging unfair and biased dismissals. A labor union requests the decision logic and data used to justify the layoffs. So the organization now faces reputational damage, legal risk, and operational disruption. And who's actually responsible? Because in this scenario, HR says they executed a system approved recommendation. The front managers say they were discouraged from overriding the model to avoid emotional bias. And data scientists say that the model performed as designed. The tool was meant to assist, not to decide. So that leaves us with the question, if a human technically approved the layoffs, but felt unable to contradict the system, was this really a human decision? This creates ambiguity, and it's a massive corporate governance risk, because if no party can truly be held responsible, then who is really in control of decision making in organizations? So this scenario matters, and the broader context of AI managerial decision making, because, sorry, okay. Because it presents ethical risks, AI-driven objectivity can mask value judgments, because what counts as productivity and whose work is visible versus invisible. From a legal perspective, organizations remain legally responsible, even if decisions are AI assisted, and it creates an organizational culture risk where over-reliance on AI discourages managerial discretion and moral courage. A key question with this scenario and the broader context of this topic is, at what point should human judgment have overridden the AI recommendation? There's no doubt that AI streamlines problem-solving tasks and provides valuable support. However, it cannot replace human judgment and intuition. AI should be used to AI accelerates insights. Humans must anchor value and responsibility. Okay. To mitigate the risk associated with AI adoption, organizations and management have to come together and implement a multi-dimensional governance strategy that integrates technical design, internal administrative restructuring, and transparent accountability mechanisms. So that can look like implementing an AI-based corporate framework. The framework should be flexible, adaptable, and allow for regular updates in response to technological advancements and regulatory changes. They should structure proactive human oversights, the human in the loop models, as we've heard. So I won't explain it, but that should be prioritized. And it's especially important in high stakes HR decisions like hiring or termination. Managers should retain authority to interpret or override AI recommendations. Formal accountability structure should be set up, and that looks like executives and management clearly defining human in the loop roles to ensure that oversight is traceable and defensible. Ethical review boards could also be set up, establishing internal AI ethics committees or appointing AI compliance officers can provide dedicated oversight of the use of AI. And then I just have a conclusion there, which basically says that, you know, AI is developing at a rapid pace and we cannot wait for government to tell us what's okay or what's not okay. It rests on management to develop frameworks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was nice listening to you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the mature way that you all dealing with the slight overrun. I owe you 10 minutes or so. I'll let you off the hook early next week. With that said, thanks for everyone. A lot of sobering food for thought input. Take care. See you in a week's time. Thanks for everyone. I'm very impressed with what I saw this evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.